Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Radcliffe.
You're watching Facebook Live or YouTube Live. There on the screen is Danny Ray. He is a world-renowned illusionist, and he's an author of a new book called No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, absolutely. Wanted to talk to you about what you do and also this book. Is this the sequel to Take My Wife, Please?
Your wife's going to have some words with you on that.
That and many other things, yes.
I'm sure. Get yourself in trouble.
Well, before we get into the book, and we do want to talk about the book, let's talk about being an illusionist. For those who don't know, and I don't know that I know, what's the difference between an illusionist and a magician?
So that depends who you ask. So in the Christian community, I tend to use the word illusionist. You know, it does say magicians are going to hell in the Bible, you know, not too good. So, but then when you look at, you know, the etymology of that word and what that word's dealing with, it's not dealing with sleight of hand, which is what I do. And so I would say illusions. But in the magic community, if I said I'm an illusionist, that's more like David Copperfield, big stage stuff, not sleight of hand. So in the magic community, it would be close-up magic is what I do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, close-up magic is so much fun to watch. I mean, you see a lot of those coming up like on America's Got Talent, things like that. Yeah. The close-up with the cards and everything, and I'm just always blown away, and I think, how in the world do they do that? But they never tell us. Why do you never tell us how you do it?
You know what? We keep secrets for you, not from you.
Okay.
So the idea is that we don't get to experience wonder a lot in our lives. And so hopefully when you see, you know, something on AGTV or any of the other, you know, magic shows that are out there, is that you get to experience that wonder. And I love that, bringing people back to that astonishment, because that part is real.
Yeah.
Now, Danny's going to be in an upcoming appearance of Penn and Teller Fool Us. When is that, Danny?
So that is confidential, and I cannot say. I do not. And to be honest, I don't know. They'll let me know. So
highly confident.
We'll get the word out.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll get everybody to follow you, and so when that announcement is made, we can all watch that, because we're pretty pumped about it. Before we get into No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear, did you do this as a kid? What got you interested in being an illusionist?
Yeah, so at 10 years old, I started getting hooked on doing sleight of hand, on doing magic. Got my first book called Close-Up Magic by Harry Lorraine. And then at 12 years old, I did a magic show called Razzle Dazzle. Ooh, at 25 cents a ticket, you know, and 75 people came. I was the richest kid in town. And then by 15, started doing it as a profession, did that through high school, through college. In seminary, did it, put it on the back burner, did it as people would call. And then in 2003, we took the leap, my wife and I, to do it as a full-time ministry. And I've, by God's grace, been able to travel to all 50 states, 21 countries, and do a lot of shows.
Wow. Now, before we get into knowing that you can't make our wife disappear and hearing about the book, do you have something you can do for us there now, by chance?
Absolutely. Let's do something.
I can't wait. I want to see it.
So first of all, I'm going to show you something with some light bulbs. If you're just listening to this, I have 4 playing cards that I've drawn light bulbs on. But like any light bulb, you know, it could go on or it could go off. So let me give you a picture of this. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 light bulbs. But if I just turn the light switch off, you can see one of them goes out.
Oh, wow.
Rick, Dan, I can't go much slower than this. Watch, I'll turn another one off. Okay, so you can see 2 of them have gone off. I'll do the third one like this. You ready? Watch. No fancy moves. The last one, just with the snap, completely goes off.
Wow.
But what you don't want to do, because they are light bulbs, is if you flicked them or dropped them, it would actually break all the light bulbs. And so you don't want to do that.
That's cool. Wow.
So yeah, that's a little piece I created. I did a ring and light bulb routine for quite a bit. It was the first time I ever performed at the Magic Castle and created a ring and light bulb routine. And then this idea came out of that. So yeah, fun.
Very cool.
Who is someone that you admired or currently admire as far as a magician, illusionist, either one?
Yeah, growing up, definitely David Copperfield was a favorite. I loved watching his stuff, would watch his television specials as they came out. And then currently, there's a lot of guys that I love their stuff. One of them is Derek Delgadio. He did a show called In and of Itself, and I saw it when it was just kind of in the beginning stages, and then it went out to Broadway. And there's, a lot of underground guys that people wouldn't know that I love their stuff. They inspire me, and I'm thankful to be able to go on the journey with them.
Awesome. And what a great way to also be able to share the gospel.
Yes.
How do you weave that in? I'm sure that you do that in your shows.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any examples of that. I didn't grow up in the church. I became a believer at 17 years old. And so at 17, I went to my first Christian magic show, and it was, I think the guy did 2 or 3 tricks, and they were pretty cheesy. If you take this red handkerchief, it's like our blood and it comes out white and we're pure like Jesus. I was just like, I will never do this, God, never do, And so I really kept those two in separate worlds. I knew I was called to share God's love with people, to preach the word. And then I knew over here I had this gift to sleight of hand, but they were in 2 different worlds. And then I was reading through Romans 11:29, and it says God's gifts and his calling are irrevocable. It was the first time I saw those as inextricable from one another. And so that became a journey and a catalyst for me to really start to figure out, how do I combine the message with the magic, with illusions.
Yeah. That's so good. Danny Ray, world-renowned illusionist and author of the book called No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear. I love the title, and I'm sure everyone does. And there are probably pastors out there that would love for their church boards to disappear. Well, I don't know if that's something you can work out or have done that already, but let's talk about this. What's this book all about, and why did you write it now?
Yeah, so my wife and I just celebrated 25 years. This is my anniversary watch. And for the last 5 years, we've been really thinking about how can we give back? We've done a lot of marriage counseling. We've had a lot of, ups and downs, I think, like any marriage. And about 5 years ago, we started to say, what would it look like to give the secrets that we've learned at conferences, at camps, I've heard hundreds, if not thousands, of speakers now. And I think I have a unique perspective on a lot of things that God has given me that way. And so it was how do we put these into writing form? And then about 2 years ago, we decided we're going to write the book. And so we wrote the book over the last couple of years, and it's just been a crazy journey, and really thankful for that part of it. Yeah.
And what have you heard so far from folks who have had a chance to read the book?
So far, we've had maybe 30 to 50 people read through it, and we've heard great things. It's not out yet. It's in pre-orders right now. It comes out November 16th. And so it's really people that we respect and admire their ministries, and we've sent them a copy. And so we've heard great things back from them, and some of those reviews and acknowledgments are in the book. Yeah.
Awesome.
Danny Ray talking about No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear, a book that's going to be out. You just heard in November the 16th. Pretty excited about that book and would love to get it. Dan will put his website up here in just a few. In it, practical tips, thoughtful insights. Can you share maybe a couple of either one that you want to share? Insights, tips, what?
Yeah. So one of the things that I've done is I've paralleled the magic that I do, the sleight of hand the magicians do, and what are the parallels with marriage? So for example, misdirection, right? A lot of times people think misdirection is about getting people to look away from, but it's actually getting them to look towards something, right?
Wow.
I just saw Rick's face. So I can do it again, Rick. Look, there it is. Right? Sometimes we think it's about getting them to look away, right? But misdirection isn't just getting them to look away. It's getting them to look at the right things at the right time. So if I was to make something disappear, right? I could just make it disappear like that. That leaves me with 2. Okay, that's going to be enough for you guys. It's if I show you any more, it's gonna mess with your minds. But,
it's like working in radio. The money just disappears.
Oh yeah, sorry for you guys on the radio. That was just for Rick and Dan. I'm watching their faces and making things disappear for them. So the reality is with misdirection, though, is we have to get to look towards something. And marriage is about focusing on the right things at the right time. And to create a great magic trick, you have to be able to get people to focus on the right things at the right time. And so those are some of the things that I try to outline, like how do you do that? How do you focus on the right things? And then it has 3 sections in the book. The first section is all about creating communication, and it ends with the most intimate of communication for marriages, which is sexual intimacy or having sex, mind-blowing magic. It's the name of that final chapter. And then we look at secrets to overcoming the impossible, because any marriage has things that are going to be difficult. My wife and I, she was 4 months pregnant, and we ended up losing the baby. And how do you overcome those difficulties and those tensions that will naturally arise in a marriage where there's a lot of hurt and pain? And so I look at what are the principles that a magician uses to create the impossible, and how can we use those same things in our marriage? And then the final section is all about the secrets to a thriving marriage. As magicians, we're always trying to come over the top and make something even better. And in our marriages, how do we do that in our dating life? How do we do that with our children? How do we do that, in different ways in our marriage? So, yeah.
Wow.
So good. Danny Ray, the book is called No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear. November the 16th is when it's out. You could probably go, if I'm assuming, DannyRayMagic.com to pick it up, probably Amazon, your favorite.
Yeah, you could get it at your local bookstores. You could get it on Amazon, wherever books are sold. But yeah, on the website, there's a link to it right now, and you could get the pre-order for it, which would be really helpful.
Danny, social media, can folks follow you on social media? Which ones?
Yeah, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they're all Danny Ray Magic, and Facebook, of course. Yeah.
And real quick, does your wife ever get tired of the tricks? Do you try to do something on her and she's like, okay, just stop, I'm tired?
It's been a long time since I've tried to fool my wife. That's a tough thing to do. But she loves traveling with me. Actually, she'll be in North Carolina when the book releases. I am doing a marriage series right now for a church where I'm opening up all their sermon series. It's like a 3-minute intro using magic and a message. And then I will, on the 6th week, come in and do a show, and the book will actually release. It's kind of perfect timing. God's orchestrating things.
Cool.
There.
Awesome.
Danny Ray, world-renowned illusionist and author of No, I Can't Make Your Wife Disappear. Check out his website. Check out his stuff, DannyRayMagic.com. Danny, we'd love to talk to you in December if you're up for it.
That would be fantastic. I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We appreciate you. Thank you for not only your gifting, your talent, your heart. God's hands all over you, and we're just excited to know you. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk.